As I'm out there pounding the pavement each and every day, I'm connecting with a lot of public works directors. I'm connecting with a lot of engineers, our engineering partners. And what I'm realizing is the concept of pavement management isn't quite there. So, as a professional in this industry for pushing 25 years, I realized that I probably need to do this video right here, and that is Pavement Management 101. So, check this out. So many people think that pavement management in this day and age is some fancy condition assessment powered by drones, technology, LiDAR, 4K cameras, automated distress vehicles driving down the roadway, just doing it all. And let me tell you something. As that might be a part of the process, it is not what pavement management is. So I want to define this for you real quick, get this out of the way. Feel free to come into my direct messages. Let me know what you think about this. Please comment on this video as well and let me know your thoughts. So for me, pavement management, I've defined it two ways. So first and foremost, a little bit of a technical approach for all of you technical individuals out there. What is pavement management? Pavement Management 101, very simple. It's a systematic approach to the annual maintenance and repair of your pavement network. That could be your roadways, your airfields, your airport, your trails, your parking lots, or all of the above. You see, a systematic approach is the key. What is a system? Think about your mobile phone, your iPhone, your Android phone, your laptop. It's a systematic approach, right? It's all these key components coming together to provide that result that you're looking for. What is that result? Hopefully, it's maximizing those taxpayer dollars, maximizing the budget, your annual budget, making as much impact as you can with those budgetary dollars, improving your roadways, improving roadway conditions, extending the life of our roadways, all of that good stuff. But without a systematic approach, you just can't get there. You see, pavement management does not stop at a condition assessment. Sure, we can go out there, identify a few different ways to approach a condition assessment. Maybe it's a 1 to 5 rating. Maybe it's a PACER rating 1 to 10. Maybe it's a homegrown James Golden type of a condition assessment 0 to 100. I'm a big fan of standards. I like the ASTM standard D6433 to be specific because it's tried and true. Some of you are going to come out here and come at me and tell me, well, it's subjective. The only reason it's subjective is because those that are doing this in a subjective manner aren't truly trained to do it appropriately. Now, that's opening up a whole nother can of worms. I get it. But you have to understand, again, systematic approach. Condition assessment is just a small piece of that. Software, just a small piece of that. Okay? Because pavement management is not a GIS approach. It's not a James Golden approach. It's not a PMG approach. Okay? It's not a technology approach. It's a systematic approach. You have to have all the key components put together to get you what you're after. I like to simplify pavement management. I'm a huge fan of simplifying where I can. I feel like it's very important. When I'm out there speaking, I provide this all the time, this analogy right here. So for me, the big takeaway, Pavement Management 101, is how do I identify the right treatment, apply that to the right pavement, and do that at the right time? If you follow those three key concepts right there in your pavement management program, you will achieve those maximized results that you're looking for. So when we talk about that systematic approach, you got to start with an inventory. So I connect with so many public works directors and engineers. My first question is, hey, that's great. Thanks for reaching out. How many centerline miles of roadways do you have? And guess what? The answer is typically one of two things. Either A, it's, I don't know, and that's unfortunate. Or B, it's, oh, James, I got 150 miles. And we say, okay, great. Do you have 150 miles? Do you have 158 miles, 142 miles? Because guess what? Every mile, that's 5,280 linear feet, right? And let's just say the average road width is, say, 20 feet wide. That's a lot of area you may not be accounting for. And when you start taking a look at, again, applying the right treatment, right pavement, right time, that inventory is critical. It's critical to understand exactly how much you have, where it's at, all of that good stuff. What we tend to find is through the inventory process, it's typically, hey, I want you to get eyes on this roadway right here. It looks like it's within your jurisdiction, your municipal, boundary, for example. You have this tagged as a county roadway, but it looks municipal to me. What are your thoughts? You know what, James? Yeah, we did some digging on that. Looks like we do maintain that roadway. That could be a roadway that's lost, lost out there in space, has not been touched, paid attention to, things like that. So again, inventory is very important. What are you looking for in your inventory? I've already kind of kicked that off a little bit. You are absolutely starting with understanding your network, breaking it down in some form of hierarchy. Networks, branches, sections, very easy, very straightforward. Here's a great tip for you. If you don't really know where to start with a GIS application. You've probably got your street centerline shape files somewhere out there. If not, contact your county to get that, and it's going to be broken down for you in a block by block format. It's a great way to start with your pavement sections. The branch is the entire roadway. Each section is the smallest management part of that roadway. And then within that section, you're looking to tag all of those attributes for your inventory: length, width, surface type, date of last construction, what that activity was. Maybe is it striped? What type of curbing is in it? Functional classification, ADT, all these things that you want to think of as you're going through the inventory process. Once you've got a solid inventory and you've got, faith in that inventory, now you are ready to start some form of a condition assessment. I'm going to do a separate video on that type of thing, but let's just leverage PCI, for example. You go out there block by block, you find all the types of distresses, quantify those distresses, compute the PCI, and now you've got a grading scale, a system, 0 through 100. You know exactly what condition all your roadways are right now. The third step in that is to analyze the information. Take a look at it. What are your KPIs? What's the current network average PCI? Is it a 50? Is it a 60? Is it a 70? That's a big driver for what you're doing, because you're going to compare that to your annual budget. Are you spending $1 million and your current PCI is a 50? Well, common sense is going to tell you that if you're applying a worst to first approach, you're probably continuing to lose ground. If you're at a 70 PCI and you just recently increased your budget, for example, that's a good KPI as well. Are you able to maintain that 70 PCI? Is that budget going to be solid enough for you to get there? How about pavement preservation, preventive maintenance opportunities? Where do those live? What type of PCI ranges do those live? You got to take a look at your roadway network, analyze the conditions, and start identifying or correlating, if you will, what type of maintenance activity is best positioned for these types of conditions. Now you've got some really good information. And here's where that inventory and quantifying your road network becomes very important. If I know that between PCIs of 60 and 70, I want to apply, say, a preservation treatment such as a Cape Seal, I've identified that's a great opportunity and great quality right there. If I know the unit cost, say $9 a square yard, I can do the work, do the math, and find out the current backlog of that type of maintenance activity. Rinse, repeat for all the different types of maintenance tools in your toolbox, and you've got a systematic approach. Notice we're not talking about software at this point, because everything I've just outlined is doable without software. Even better, this is not only data-driven at this point, you can leverage it to be map-driven. So take this information, tie that right on back to your shapefile, display that in a map-driven format, and now you can communicate with the ever important beings. That's going to be your council, your public, your mayor. Remember, they don't know what you know. So showing this in a visual map-driven component in a systematic approach, that's going to help you win every time. Need to spend more money? You got to prove the case. You got to tell the story, right? These tools help get you there. So Pavement Management 101, systematic approach to the annual maintenance and repair of, in this case, a roadway network. To make it even simpler, how to identify the right treatment, apply that to the right pavement, and do that at the right time. The James Golden approach here is, how do I do that every time? That's your Pavement Management 101. I hope this video adds value to you. Check out my YouTube page throughout here and let us know how we're doing. Until the next one.